Chicago Bears fans, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome in. It is Wednesday, January 1st of 2025. Happy New Year's to all of my followers, those who come in, share a word with me about Bears, Cubs, Blackhawks, what have you. Jersey of the day today, we're kind of doing a little bit of a throwback to when I first started doing videos, being that the Bears have 1 week left. We got on a white away Roquan Smith jersey. So, with that, we are going to go over a few things today. We're going to go over the injury report, and then there wasn't really a whole lot that really caught my attention from the media sessions today, but I do want to talk about some things that Caleb Williams brought up or that he was asked about. So we will be going over that as well. Again, friends, I am working on getting a secondary monitor to place directly under the webcam. So when I am talking to you guys or I'm reading something that I'm talking about, I can look right under my webcam instead of looking off to my laptop over here. But we are working on it. So once again, Happy New Year's. I hope that you guys had a very wonderful and safe uh, holiday celebration. I know I did. I went to bed at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was up by about 10:30. So a little tired today, but we're rolling through it. So hopefully you guys made smart decisions. None of you guys wound up in jail because we don't need that happening. But we will start with the injury report. Injury report, nice and short this week's as of Wednesday. Um, Wednesday is typically like a half walkthrough, half practice day, anyways. But we are looking at Larry Borum and Roma Dunze are out with an illness. However, Thomas Brown did make a note that he expects both of them to be back and ready by Sunday. So probably just letting them get over whatever that is. Elijah Hicks with an ankle foot did not practice, again, with it being Wednesday. The day after, it is New Year's Day, so I don't really expect any of these players to really practice. We'll kind of get more of an idea tomorrow and Friday what's really going on. Travis Homer with the hamstring, that's been bothering him for I think a couple weeks now, so that might be something to look out for come Friday. Tevin Jenkins with that calf, that's he was out last week after leaving the game the week before, so that is also something to look out for. It would help to have him in the game, and then Travarius Moore with his knee. He was full practice today, so that is not. That may not be a big deal, but again, since usually Wednesdays are typically a half practice, half walkthrough day, we will check in on him as Thursday and Friday progresses. Now, again, Larry Borum and Roma Dunze, they were spoken about, said that even though it is an illness, they should be back for the game on Sunday. That is good. I like that. One thing that a lot of people are kind of up in the air about is letting all of their starters start the game on um, on Sunday versus Green Bay, because do you really want to risk anybody getting injured? While I agree you really don't want to, it is still good to allow these guys to get reps. I know that the offensive line is terrible, so that kind of really already is what it is. I know you don't really want to risk, like your Roma Dunze or um, uh, you don't want to risk really Roma Dunze or Caleb Williams getting injured. You really don't want to risk, um, you know, DJ Moore or Jalen Johnson. You really don't want to risk any of your star players getting hurt. I understand that. But if there's anything we have learned about the 2024 Chicago Bears is that everybody, while the results aren't there on the field, they say the right things in the media as far as, the team um, puts up a fight. And if they're going to lose together. They're not, nobody really wants to sit on purpose. So, I mean, obviously you'd want to sit Caleb Williams, but I could also see that being a Caleb Williams, um, a Caleb Williams decision, and really the coaches are leaving it up to him, and he would much rather start. So again, these things are also understandable. I could see players not really wanting to really sit out because again, they've while we don't really know what the culture of the Bears are, at least we know that they stick together. If they're going to win together, if they're going to win, they're going to win together. If they're going to lose, they're going to lose together. I just really hope that the offensive line doesn't let him get killed against Green Bay because I think we've seen enough of Caleb Williams getting killed, and I am excited for the offseason just to see what they do with the offensive line. I just hope that they do things right. I don't really care if it gets done in the draft, free agency, trades, whatever it is. I just want to see the offensive line get done right. And with that, I would like to make a note. I will be doing some homework to see what the free agency is going to look like at the end, towards the end of the playoffs. I'm going to start looking at what the draft board looks like, and I'm going to start putting together a wish list of what I would like to see the Bears go in terms of direction for the offensive line. Uh, but then I will also be doing videos for the postseason, even though the Bears won't be there. We will be doing videos to kind of cap, the divisional rounds or the wild card round, divisional round, the championship round, and then the Super Bowl. We will be covering those, and then throughout the offseason, we will just kind of talk about any Bears news that happens to pop up, and then we'll do some stuff kind of like wish lists. Maybe we'll do some player grades, things like that of that nature. We'll try to keep the Bears content, even though it'll be slow for a little while. We'll try to keep it smooth because with baseball season coming up, we will be covering the Cubs quite a bit on this channel coming up. So that's kind of giving you guys an idea of what the start of 2025 is going to look like. I am in the process of also trying to spec out a PC to do some gaming, to do some live streaming while gaming. I attempted to do it on my laptop. My laptop just quite isn't strong enough. I could game on it, I can stream on it, I just can't do both. So that's kind of where we're at there. But with that, we will kind of start talking about what really happened with Caleb Williams' talk here. This is what I was talking about. Um, I saw a tweet from Kevin Fishbane. Caleb Williams was asked. I don't know if he was asked or if people keep uh, making these points on the offensive line, but Kevin Fishbane tweets, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, quote, the connotation behind the offensive line has been annoying and frustrating because they work their tail off to go out there. I've taken sacks, and yes, a good amount have been on me. I understand going to bat for your guys, right? I understand not wanting to. Um, I understand really. I understand as the Bears captain of the offense, and you're since you are the rookie quarterback, I understand you wanting to fall on the sword as it would be for your guys. I do understand that. I understand that you don't want to place blame on one single person. I understand that you, as the quarterback, are going to try to take as much blame as possible. However, let's be honest, Bears fans, we are not blind to what is going on. Everybody knows that the offensive line has problems. I have single-handedly pretty much every week we have done a post-game breakdown. I have consistently pointed to the left side of that line and sometimes even the center. Um, the right line is okay for as inconsistent of a lineup that's been pushed out on the right side. It doesn't really seem like the pressure comes from the right side. It seems to be coming from Caleb Williams' left side, which you know again, I understand Caleb Williams trying not to place blame on one single person. I understand that he would rather place the blame on himself, but still, you again, as fans and people who watch not only my podcast, not my YouTube channel, not just my episodes, but if you go and watch CHGO, ESPN 1000, 670 The Score, Locked On Bears, Keek on the Mic, the Windy City Breeze, everybody talks about the same thing. It's the offensive line. It's really bad. I mean, the schemings for the plays aren't even the greatest. You got the wrong guys chip blocking and on plays. You got the play scheme backwards to where you have a wide receiver chipping for a tight end when a tight end should be picking up the block for the wide receiver. Like there's just been a lot of things that have been backwards in 2024, and really this all goes back to one that I brought up last week was Ryan Poles had noted that he had seen these problems way back in training camp, and really you got to ask why was this not fixed way back then? If you knew it was a problem back then, whether it was a personnel problem or a coaching problem, um, I could understand how you not see that it'd be a coaching problem with having a new offensive coordinator. I could see how maybe it could just be the guys getting used to that kind of scheming. Although as the season progressed, we saw how that scheming was extremely flawed. We all saw it. But if you know that you have that bad of a problem, how can you not go and address that whatsoever? I cannot wrap my head around training camp, how you don't try to get other people in or talk to other teams for trades or look at free agents that may still be out there while you're in the middle of training camp. I just don't understand why you don't try then. And then when you're in the season, again, you had all the way up to the trade deadline to try to improve that offensive line, and you didn't. As a matter of fact, of you basically let go of number 12 for next to nothing. And then you didn't even trade Davis. You just outright released him. So you did a lot of things wrong. And you're gonna need to show the city of Chicago and all their fans that you mean legitimate business to, find a way to turn things around. I talk about this with my dad and my brother, and they have said the same thing where you have a lot of options going into 2025 because you have draft capital. You could trade away pieces that aren't doing so well for draft capital if you can do that. And then you have free agency, and then you have, um, you know, the trade market, like I had just said. So the problem is that you need to get this head coaching thing figured out, and you need to get it figured out now because your head coach is going to be a big part of how you build out the roster, whether it's Ben Johnson, whether it's Mike Vrabel, Pete Carroll. No, it doesn't matter who the candidate is coming in once he is hired. You need, for one, for him to get on page with the quarterback extremely quickly. You're going to need that to happen. You need to get on the same page with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren very quickly. And then you need to be able to make moves that show that you are actually going to do something with this roster. I hold out hope because we saw for the first time a head coach and an offensive coordinator get fired. We've never seen that happen, so I do have some hope that the Bears make. I'm not going to say the maybe the best decision for Chicago just because of their track record in picking head coaches, but I would like to say that they will make a decision that is more than good enough. And what I mean by more than good enough, I don't just mean a coach that will get you a winning season. I don't just mean a head coach that will um, not allow Caleb Williams to fail. I do mean a head coach that will get you into the postseason. I do mean a head coach that could potentially get you to a Super Bowl. I do mean a head coach that can actually develop an offense and make them look extremely good. That may not be somebody that everybody wants. Everybody wants Ben Johnson because they think he's a very hot commodity. Very much so. He is. He will be a head coach and he will be a very good head coach. But does it make sense to go after a Ben Johnson when, say, Pete Carroll just came out and said publicly that he would love an opportunity to be in Chicago? And the more that thought about this, the more that I talked to my dad and my brother about it, the more Pete Carroll to me makes actually the most sense because he's in Seattle. He had never had a losing season. He made the postseason, uh, six or seven times out of his 10 seasons in Seattle. He had a 1-17-73 record in Seattle. He made the championship game twice. He made the Super Bowl. No, he's made the championship game three times, the Super Bowl twice. He's won the Super Bowl, won the championship game twice. So he's got the resume, and you know that he could build a culture. And I think that that is one of the biggest points of Pete Carroll is that he will build a solid structure for a culture for the Chicago Bears, in my personal opinion. Would Pete Carroll be like a long-term solution though? Probably not. When I talked to my dad about it, we were talking back and forth, and it seemed that it kind of made sense to be in that 2 or 3 year range. But a 2 to 3 year range to start is more than enough time to I mean, Pete Carroll's the kind of guy that could build a culture within just training camp before the season even starts, right? Like he can do that. And the thing that I'm more concerned about is balancing your run and pass game, protecting your quarterback. I think that Pete Carroll could definitely handle that. Again, that is just my opinion coming out of that. That may not be the case. He may not be the guy that's picked, but weighing the options, I think that Pete Carroll would be probably the best option or the more than solid good enough answer. I think that he could do everything that you need him to do. And then if he gets you into a postseason, you could easily go about contract extensions after that. I don't know if taking on another rookie head coach would be very smart. And this is where I would like you guys to chime in down below because uh, this is where in my previous video I had somebody comment um, that uh, Dallas, what's his name? Oh my God, he was with Green Bay. Now he's with Dallas. But Dallas is head coach. He said that uh, that he would be a very very solid option for the Bears because he got Dallas into a postseason. He went to the postseason a bunch of times with the Packers. He's got a Super Bowl with the Packers, and yeah, I agree with that. But I just never was a fan of his character. Like, and maybe that's just kind of jaded on my part too, because I always saw him and Rodgers butting heads, and Rodgers always seemed to get what he wanted in Green Bay, which is probably made the head coach look worse than he actually was. Because again, he did come into Dallas and he did bring Dallas into the postseason. Granted, they literally only have one playoff win in like 4 years, but still, like that is something to be said because Dallas was not a great team when Mike McCarthy. When Mike McCarthy came in, Dallas was not the greatest team either, and he got them to a postseason and got them a postseason victory. So I mean, do I agree with him with that specific comment? No, I personally would not like Mike McCarthy in Chicago. I just don't really think that he fits the Chicago Bears. That might also be just me being jaded because you know that he was with Green Bay, and we're all Bears fans, so that might just be my bias kicking in there. I don't know. I mean, he could be a really good option for the Bears, and he might take the Bears all the way to a Super Bowl. Who knows? But my point being is that I don't know if Ben Johnson would actually be the right choice because we have had back-to-back rookie head coaches, and it did not work out. At least Matt Nagy had a winning record, but even then, still not a great look. So I'm not sure about that, but I will bring it back to Caleb Williams because this is a comment that he made for the Bears head coach. He says Caleb Williams on what he is looking for his next head coach. This comes from CHGO Bears on X. This is a tweet that they sent out. Caleb Williams says a coach that is challenging us, a man of his word, a disciplined coach, a guy that wants to win. Don't get me wrong, Ben Johnson can absolutely be that. He probably is. But again, I think that as far as head coach goes, the more I weigh the options on who else is actually out there and who has been there and done that, I'm kind of talking myself away from Ben Johnson just because of the fact that he will be a rookie head coach. And I think the Bears need to be built out a little bit further for Ben Johnson to succeed here. That's just strictly my opinion. So again, this is where I would like you guys to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, because the more, like I say, the more that I have looked at the other options, the more I keep talking myself out of it because I would like to see somebody who has been in the postseason, who is known for a type of culture. I would argue that outside of this year with Dallas falling apart, I would argue that Mike McCarthy did that in Dallas. And again, Pete Carroll, they are men of culture. They are no bullshit guys. And both of them are actually guys that are outside of the Bears' comfort zone in terms of the Bears like a guy who is nice and kind and buddy buddy with the media. They don't step on anybody's toes, especially the Bears brass. That's what the Bears coaching has been since Lovie Smith left. Uh, Pete Carroll, not that kind of guy. For as much as I don't like him, neither is Mike McCarthy. If there's a problem, they will bust it wide open. And they will address it and they will make sure that it is corrected. And typically by their next NFL Sunday game, it is corrected. You don't see guys making that mistake. The one point that my dad brought up when I was talking to him on the phone was Tyreek Stevenson and the fail Mary. Uh, any other coach in the league would have benched him, outright benched him. Not a you're out for a couple of series. They would have talked about it in the media, saying that it is unacceptable and it will be addressed. None of that. It'll be handled behind closed doors. Nothing like that. So again, this is kind of how I'm talking myself away from Ben Johnson. For as awesome as he probably can and will be, I just don't know. I'm not in on getting another rookie head coach. Again, that is just my opinion. And then on a side note, uh, Thomas Brown was asked if he will interview for the head coach, and he basically commented saying that he's not focused on that right now. I would lead that to believe that the Bears have basically already told him like thanks, but no thanks. I don't really have a comment on that one. I just thought that that was interesting that had somebody had asked them about that. And then while I'm here, there was one more. There was one more that I saw that I wanted to talk about. Uh, oh yeah. So this was another comment that another comment that Caleb made on what he wants in a head coach. He said challenging and holding people accountable, making sure that people are where they need to be. I think that that's kind of taking a shot at what happened with like, how Tyreek Stevenson was basically out of the whole play for that Hail Mary. Um, there's a lot more instances that you can go through all year, but that's kind of the one that is pretty infamous right now for Chicago. And then to close the show out for this episode, Cole Kmet wins the Jeff Dickerson Good Guy Award for the second time. I mean, how can the man just not win it, right? I mean, Cole Kmet is the absolute guy. He is him. He's funny. He's nice. Uh, the last couple of weeks we have seen, I guess, his ugly side a little bit when he made the comments about how he was done looking for good spots. We're getting our ass whooped and we've lost 11 games in a row. Like, but Cole Kmet is just that guy. I mean, every team's got that kind of guy. Cole Kmet is ours. Cole Kmet, he's awesome. I love watching the 85. He he's just top tier class act. If I ever get a chance to meet any Chicago Bears, he would definitely be at the top of my list. Cole Kmet, definitely my favorite current active Bears player. I have liked him for quite a while. But Bears fans, you let me know what you are feeling this week. With all the more, it seems like every week that we go by here, there's more rumors swirling around about what's going on with the head coaching search. There's more talks about coming from players and what kind of head coach that they want. A lot of names are getting thrown out there. Let me know who you think would be a great fit for Chicago. I'm leaning kind of towards Pete Carroll at the moment. I know a lot of people are still hot on Ben Johnson, but you guys let me know. Again, Bears fans, I hope that you guys had a very wonderful uh, Christmas and a very wonderful New Year's, whether it was with family, whether you were out partying, whether you were out doing whatever you were doing. I hope that you guys were safe. I hope that you guys had fun, and I hope that 2025 brings everybody just a little bit extra success and happiness this year. The last few years have been pretty rough with the economy and everything else. I try to not be political on this channel, but let's be honest. America kind of needs to go in a different direction a little bit. Everybody should be able to afford the things that they want to do when they want to do it. So I hope that everybody who watches the show enjoys a little bit extra success this year, a little bit extra happiness, and hopefully everybody grows together. But Bears fans, I will be sure to catch you on Friday when we do the final injury report, and we will go over some keys to the game. Maybe we do that one live. Usually I do that one in a video form. We will probably do that one live because there's also some Cubs things, so I kind of want to do a dual episode. So we will think about doing that. But Bears fans, I will catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.